classes, we have learned many other basic concepts of object-oriented programming. Today's agenda is we are going to learn polymorphism, very important concept. Under polymorphism, there are two types. One is overloading and another is overriding. Overloading is not going to be supported. Overriding is supported in above. We are also going to see an example of local class, how we can create, how we can use, how we can define instance, static attributes, right? All those things, instance method, static method, how we can redefine the instance method in the local class. Whatever we have seen in the global class, all those things we are going to see inside the local class as well. We are going to see what is the meaning of load keyword. However, it has been obsolete. Deferred keyword, when we can use this one, and also we are going to learn exception and exception handling if time permits. Let's go and start. But before going ahead, let's have a quick recap what we have done in our last class. In last class, we have seen about the constructor. There are two types of constructor. One is instance and another is static, right? Instance, we have seen whenever we are going to create any object of a class, every time it gets called. Class constructor is having some rule. Class constructor gets called only once during the lifetime of a program. And if you're going to access a component, a static component of a class, then while loading the program event or while loading the subroutine, first the class constructor is going to get called very first time only. Then we have seen the differences between the normal method constructor and class constructor, some rule of static constructors, and rule of inheritance for class constructor, under which we have seen class constructor cannot be inherited. On the other hand, constructor can be inherited and redefined also. We have seen some scenario for the constructor hierarchy, how it gets called, and I believe your concept of the constructor hierarchy would have been very much clear now. Now let's go and start with the polymorphism. What is this polymorphism? Polymorphism is made up of two words, poly plus morphism. The meaning of poly means many and morphism means forms. So literal meaning of this is going to be, many forms. What is the meaning of many forms? This generally comes in context of methods. Okay. So a single method you can use for different purposes, right? As we have seen that one method, let's suppose here we have a ZCL material, ZCL underscore mat class. And this mat class, you are going to inherit into ZCL plant class. Okay, ZCL plant class. Now, for this ZCL mat, let's suppose here you are having the get detail method. Okay, you have just defined one method, get detail over here. So this get detail method in ZCL material, this is your method, get detail. This get detail method inside this ZCL material will give you the detail of material, and when you are going to inherit into this ZCL plant, here you can redefine in your own way, right? Redefinition is possible, correct? So this get detail here, it will give you plant plus material, both the detail, right? You can define. So this is the here name of the method is same. Here again, name of the method is same, but the behavior is different, right? So one method can be used in different forms. That's the meaning of polymorphism. In this, there are two types. One is overriding and another is overloading. So if you are going to simply, define the behavior newly in the subclass, just you are going to change the behavior, then that is known as what? That is known as overriding. Okay. Overriding. This is known as overriding. Simply changing the behavior. Changing the behavior in the subclass. So this is known as overriding. What is overloading? So the one which I have discussed over here, this is overriding. This is possible. What is overloading? Overloading means in the subclass, you are going to change the behavior plus definition both. Means definition means import parameter, export parameter, all these things you are trying to change. Okay, definition. That's the meaning of a method, a definition. So it will not allow you to change the parameter. It will not allow you to add the parameter or remove the parameter in object-oriented ABAP. In Java and all you can do. You can have the same method, but the different parameters. That's the concept known as overloading. This is not permittable in the object-oriented ABAP. Okay. Overloading is fine. There is no problem over here. Let's go and see the example. So going to the system, and there I will show you one example quickly. So SAP logon. Go to SC24, and we have already created this plant, right? Let's go into this class, and here get material detail you are having. Simply you write one method, or maybe get material, and maybe here I'm going to write, because this is more specific to this class. So you should have some, you should have some method which is going to be generic, right? So like get detail, correct? However, this get underscore material also you can redefine over there, right? So if you're going to redefine this get underscore material inside the plant, so in that particular plant, whatever the materials are there, that it will give you. But if you have inside this particular material, it will give you only the material which you are requesting for. So let us see if you have some parameters. I'm just going to define quickly one parameter. So I will show you. Or we already have the, uh, constructor defined, right? So here if you see, this constructor is there already, and we are able to set the global variable value over here, right? So not required to again define the import parameter over there. If you remember yesterday, in the constructor, I have initialized this material number, right? So coming back over here, and now inside the get underscore material, if gv underscore material is there, it's is blank, it's going to show you the 10 rows, right? And if you're passing some value over there, it is going to give you the value for that particular material, the detail it's going to give us, right? So that's fine. Let it be like this only. Come over here and go to the plant and come here, go into the change mode. This get material I want to redefine. So click on this redefine, right? So plant is inheriting from material, right? So if you want to keep this super, if you want to have uh, some detail from the super class, you can have, or else you just leave it. Okay, you just leave it. And now what we are going to do that here, I want to get all the here get material. So here what I want to do here, I want to get all the material which is present in the current plant, right? So some plant parameter also I would like to have somewhere, right? Then only I will be able to do so. So this will be again a complex one. So let me do, and this in this also already, because the constructor is defined, right? So in this constructor, if you see the parameter underscore material is there, right? So again, if I'm trying to uh, give some different, it would be like a overriding and it will overloading and it will not allow, right? So let's make it simple. That's where the problem comes, when you will go with the real-time example and trying to explain the concept. So to understand the basic concept, the simple example is very good. So let me have the simple example first, and then we will implement in a, so it will implement in real-time SAP ABAP objects. So ZCL underscore A1 class, I'm just going to define OO ABAP demo class A. Already, I think it's defined. Let's see. Yeah, we have defined already, right? These methods, there are two methods and this aliases, but let's define quickly one more, another class. Maybe I'm writing the super class over here. Click on this create button, and here we will be giving the super class. Just save it and give the package. Click on this OK button, and here just writing the get detail. Let's suppose this is specific to material, and here I can get the material detail, right? Label over here, instance or static. Instance we will do because static will not be able to, uh, redefine in the subclass. And here either will have to make it public or protected, then only will be able to inherit. So just I'm making it protected, and here get detail. Just save it, and inside this just double click over here, come here, and I'm going to display some list of material. Here I want to get the material. So select some value matner mtart matkl from mara into table at the rate data it underscore mara up to 5 rows. Just simple, very simple query. Yeah, in it underscore mara we are going to put it, and this value I want to display. So I should have one export parameter so that I can get this value inside my where program. So let's define quickly one parameter, or you will have to define the global attributes. Anything is fine, right? So et underscore mara, and again here one types we are going to define. So types is over here, like exporting, and associated type tt underscore mara, press enter. And typing method, this is type tt underscore mara does not exist. So what you will have to do first, you will have to create this one, go to this type. Okay, give something so that at least it will not give you the error. Come here and define this type first. So public typing is fine, associated type. So associated type will have to define ts underscore mara, and let's come here. What's the error it's giving? Type is fine. TC, click here and search for the element. It's telling no, that is not required at this moment. We have to define the type, right? Or directly you can go to the source code based editor and here you can define. Let me remove this and first we will go and define there and then we will directly put it. What it's telling, you cannot use an attribute reference for types within a class. This public is fine, right? What it's telling, let me delete first.
Public is not full.
Yeah, just I'm trying to say super has been changed, save changes. No, I don't want to save it, and come here and we can define here the types. Okay, directly you can define here the types. So let's give types begin of ts underscore mara and matner type matner mtart type mtart and matkl type matkl. End of ts underscore mara, and another types we can define tt for the table type table of ts underscore mara. Pretty printer. So here this is the source code based editor, and that's how we use in the HANA Studio or ADT on Eclipse, right? So there if you have to write the code, you write in this way. What is the meaning of public over here? You can see that. In the same way we are going to define in AC38 our local class. So the meaning of this, you are defining the class public, that means in AC24 repository. Okay, this is the meaning of AC24 repository. That means if you are going to create a class into AC38 also, and there also if you are going to mark this as a public, that means that class you will be able to see inside the AC24 global repository. Okay, create public means how do you want to instantiate, right? You know that create object is the syntax to create the instance, right? So what kind of instance you want to create? You want to create the public instance, right? You have to write create public. You want to create the protected instance, you have to write create protected. So this is visibility. Okay, this is visibility. So if it is public, you can use anywhere. Okay, if it is protected, you can use inside the subclass. If it is private, then only inside this class. So that's the meaning of this. Then after public section, protected section and private section, 3 section gets started. Okay, and here inside this types and all these things, I'm just putting it over here and just save it. Check the syntax.
Pankaj, one small doubt. If we create a protected in the class, then can we declare public section in that one, or it is not allowed?
Protected, yes, you can declare, right?
The whole class is protected, then also we can create public section there.
If your whole class is, then there is no meaning of, but if you have, you must have, public section, you can give it over there, but there is no meaning much, right? You can give the public section, but what is the meaning of that, right? Because your class is protected, it will be there inside the subclass only, right?
Right. Means that is allowed, but that doesn't have any significance.
Right. So if you can see here, I'm just writing the protected. Okay, here. Save it, check the syntax. There is no error, right?
Right.
So make it public, save it, check the syntax, activate this one, activate. And now this tt underscore mara types is defined. Just go back, and here actually, tt underscore mara I have to put, but why it's disabled? Let me go into the change mode once again. Public, this type method, this is the type. TS Mara, TT Mara, right? TS Mara, TT Mara. So already it's there, already it's there. So nothing to worry, right?
Activated.
Right. TS underscore Mara. Okay. Okay. Let me activate and see. So it got activated. That's fine. It comes like this only. If you want to give the global, this thing, then it will uh, uh, appear over here. Otherwise, you just give the type name and click on this, and you will have to define. That's why it was giving me the error when I'm trying to give it something. It was telling that it is not there in the local. You can give the global in AC11. You can define the structure and you can give it over here. Local, we have to define like this. There is no other way. Okay, if you want to define the local. Okay, fine. So now go back once again, and I'm going to inherit this one into the subclass. So here we have written the code also, right? It will work fine. There is no problem, right? Because this IT underscore Mara. Okay, here this IT underscore Mara, I want to get the value back, right? So for that, we're trying to define the parameter. So parameter, let's quickly define. Otherwise, we will not be able to get the value. Type is exporting parameter, and the typing method over here, TT underscore Mara, right? So now it looks good for me. Go to the methods and double click on this, and we are coming over here directly. We can put the value here. Okay. So Control V and check the syntax now, activate this. So we got it. Now just go back and copy this one, and now come back once again, and here subclass, create one other class called subclass. Public, remove this final, click on this save button, save it over here and click on this OK. Inside the properties, we are going to give that superclass. We have copied, press enter, go to this methods and click on this save button. And here, if you click this, it will not be, appearing over here. Why? Because this filter is only for the implemented method. So if you want to see your implemented method only, you can click on this button, and you will be able to see only the implemented method. Okay. So that's the meaning of filter. So you can see that currently this is not implemented. It is coming into blue, and that's the reason when I'm clicking on filter, it's it's not appearing here. So now we can redefine this one. Come here, and you can see this is what the polymorphism. This is one good example of polymorphism. Similarly, you can keep on doing several other things, right? And here get detail. This is what we are having. We are having the class. This is the subclass we are having, right? And in this class, if you want to have, you can write your own method, right? You can get the detail along with the material and plant also, right? So again, like in this ET underscore Mara, you have to put one more, uh, you know, uh, fields over there. Then only we'll be able to put it over here, right? Just save it and let me put it this select Matner mtart matkl, and we can put the inner join over here, right? Or see one thing what we can also do over here, that call the superclass method, get the data over here. In et underscore Mara, we can call the superclass, we can get the data in et underscore. Let's suppose that 5 records from Mara table we are getting it over here. So data it underscore some local variable just going to define. See, one benefit of using the class method is also that you can use the inline declaration over here. Let's see the syntax first. If some issue is there, check the syntax. There is no problem, right? You can see that you can use the inline declaration, but in function module you will not be able to use in inline declaration like this. You will not be able to use, but in class method you can use. That's where the robustness comes into picture. At compile time itself, there is no problem, right? But in function module, though everything is fine, but still it will give you error, and inline declaration over there will not be possible in function module, right? So now you got this lt underscore mara, and now let's put the select material number, and then what? Plant. Just I want to get the plant information from Marcy into table. I will define one more exporting parameter. Okay, so because new open SQL syntax I'm using, et underscore Marcy going to use for all entries in the value will be coming in lt underscore mara, right? Where matners equals to @lt underscore mara hyphen, right? So this is just one simple example which we can use for the purpose of populating the Marcy, and this is how nicely we can use like this, right? It will give you error at this moment, right? Because this export parameter we have not defined here. Let's go and define. Come here and now click on this parameter and go into the change mode. Okay, so here you can see that why parameters exceptions of inherited methods or event cannot be changed. Why it is telling like this? Anyone over here?
Because it is inherited method.
Right, and ABAP does not support overloading, right? What is the meaning of overloading? That's the meaning of overloading, because you will not be able to change or add or anything in the inherited definition of the method or inherited attribute of the method. That's the meaning of overloading. But in another languages you will be able to do so. Java, .NET, C++, that is fine. Okay,
then how we will do, Pankaj, in this case?
now here we won't be able to do. Okay, you have to create another, means whatever you have to do in the super class itself. Okay, so I'm going to the super class, going to the methods, going to the change mode, and here in the get material, in the parameters, here going to add et underscore Marcy exporting, and just do one thing. First we'll have to create the associated type, right? Then only it will allow. So first let's do that and go to the types here, tt underscore Marcy. Click on this button, click on this yes, and types tt underscore Marcy.
It is coming in private section.
Yeah, I will correct that. Just hold on. Begin of ts underscore Marcy, then Matner type Matner, and Vox type Vox underscore d. End of ts underscore Marcy, and this types is already there. So Control X type table of ts underscore Marcy. Save it, check the syntax, go back, and here now you can see that it's coming the private. You can make it public, okay, or protected. Then only will be able to use in your subclass. Protected. So if you don't give anything, by default it will come as a private only. Now if you automatically it will be changed. Okay, protected section and all. Is it okay?
Yeah, fine.
Come here and activate this one. Everything should be activated properly, and it now got activated. Now go into the method, and quickly we are going to add one more parameter called et_marcy so that we can display the value tt_marcy. Now just save it, check the syntax, activate this one, and got activated. Go back and you have come again to the subclass, come into this method, and if you see the parameters, you have the two parameters. This parameter, this time I'm going to write the, I'm just going to put it over here. So now it's fine, right? Into et_marcy is fine, and if you check the syntax, it will not give you any error now. And now you activate this, select all the subclass component and click on this activate. Now got activated. Go to the program. So till here, are you able to follow me, or I'm going too fast? Is it okay for everyone? Just write here in the chat box if it is fine for you. Very good. Okay. So now go to the program, and this is the editor, SE38 editor. Here we are going to create a one program. So demo 5 for the 5th day. Click on this create button and polymorphism. Types executable program and save button. Save it, save it. Go here and let's quickly create the instance of that particular class, right? Or yeah.
Suraj, Pankaj, sorry, one
Mhm,
doubt here.
mhm,
So we have changed that parameters in the super class
mhm,
after seeing the problem, right? So
right.
if that super class is being inherited in some other classes also,
Then
then
again go to super and there you change. Okay.
no, but that will impact other classes also now if we have multiple
Make it
subclass.
optional, na? Optional parameter. You can make them optional parameter. It will not impact. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So whenever you are putting the new parameter, if your requirement comes like that, make them optional. It will not impact anywhere.
We got it. Thanks.
Yeah. So now report that here, what I want to do, I want to
So
create one.
this is exporting. So we no need to put optional, right? Only for importing.
One second, let me check. So here we have the option, right?
But it will be disabled by default. Try go
Oh,
to edit.
is it? Okay, let me check. Let us check. But see, in exporting parameter, okay, let's give a try over here. Go into the change mode, go into the parameters.
No, we have to go to super class, right?
Here we will not be able to
Yeah,
change.
super
Go
class.
into the let's go into the super class, go into the methods, go into the change mode, parameters. Okay, it is by
Optional.
default mandatory. It is going to be mandatory because this is the exporting parameter. But when you are calling this, so while having the exporting parameter, let's suppose if you have called this particular method into some another class already, right?
Yeah.
There it is not necessary like you have to mention, or I don't think so. We will check it now itself. Okay, come here and let's create one instance. Go poly equals to new, and give that, copy it over here and control V, full stop, and geo underscore. So also, uh, call method like that also we can give geo underscore poly. Is something wrong? Call method, right? It looks good. Geo underscore poly, copy this one. I'm just putting control space and I'm expecting that by default it should
I
come.
think you have
Oh,
put
it's protected. No, it's protected. Actually, that's the reason, I'm not able to use inside this particular, you know, report, right? That's the reason you can see that it's not showing us, right? So, you know, so this is like, if you want to use in report, you must have to make them public. Then only will be able to do, otherwise it will not be possible. I'll make it quickly public, save it and activate it. Now some error is coming. Let's see what is the error. Check it. TT underscore Marcy is known, but there is a type with a similar name, TT underscore Mara, TT underscore Mara. From where this error is coming. So come here and go to this parameter, ET underscore Marcy, TT underscore Marty, exporting. This is fine. Go to the types, make it public. So see, if something you are going to mark as a public, their corresponding parameter related things should be also public, then only, otherwise it will start giving the error, right? So activate this one and now got activated, right? So now here's some another problem. Here this is activated, and just a moment, double click, super class, it is fine. All right, now come to the subclass. In the subclass, now I want to do the stuff. So this is the public, right? Check the syntax, and when you redefine method, you cannot change the visibility. Yes, this is true. So see, this is what the problem happens, So in order to do this, what we will have to do, let me go here and copy this program. We have to refactory all these things. Okay. And so undo this one. Now, if you check the syntax, there should not be any issue, and redefine once again. Okay, so it's there, right? Check the syntax and let me try to activate this one, and got activated. So like this, you will have to do. You have to undo the redefinition, and again you have to write the code and redefine, because once it's implemented, it will not allow you. Okay. So visibility is public in the super class. Just I have made it now. Now come here, and if you press Control space now, this time it should come. Okay. Now also it's not coming. Why? Get underscore detail. Now everything looks good for me. Now there should not be any problem. So do one thing. Come here and go to this pattern, and from here we will do ABAP object patterns. Click on this OK button, and instance geo underscore poly, and the class is the ZCL00 ABAP super. And which method I want to use, from here I will get that option. Get detail, only one method is there. Click on this OK method, right? So many a time, just simply, control space, if you do, that option of the methods will come, and just you have to select and press shift enter. Automatically this will come. You don't have to go to this pattern and do those things. Okay. Uncomment this one in ET underscore Mara. Here also again, like, we have to define. So here, define one data object, IT underscore Mara, or maybe LT underscore Mara over here. Type. See, already the table types I have defined, right? So why not to use these table types directly over there, correct? So this is the TT underscore Mara I'm having. So go to the super class, better directly use from the super class. All right. Copy this one, and TT Mara and TT Marcy I will use for the purpose of declaring that one. So you can use this TT underscore Mara and one more LT underscore Marcy type control space, and this is TT underscore full stop Marcy. This should be Marcy. Okay. Check the same.
Because, excuse me, you put the symbol, the operator, there are a static component?
See, this type is always going to be static. No, this type there is no meaning of instance or statics in this. Okay, so it will be always treated like a static component. So that's why we can access like this. So this is now your table type definition. If you double click, it will take you over there. Click on this save button and you can see that it's taking over here, and you can click here, and from here you can see what is the table definition. So like that. Is it okay for everyone what I'm doing it, right? Such kind of things you must be doing in the O data, right? If you are working on the O data, such kind of things you'll have to do. Fine. So get detail, and here LT underscore Mara, and here we are having LT underscore Marcy. So this value, and now in the importing parameter, let's suppose if you don't give this, is it going to give the error? See, it's not giving you the error. So your doubt got clear, though it was mandatory, but like in exporting parameter, even if you select or not, means even if it is going to be mandatory, here it does not mean. But in exporting parameter, if something is mandatory, you must have to pass. So you will be having option over there to make them optional. Is it clear now? Got the point?
But if it is in importing,
yeah, then you have to give. No, if it's mandatory, then you have to give, but you will be having the option over there to make them optional. So for example, what I'm trying to tell you, go to the super class, go to the methods, and come here and go to these parameters, go into the change mode, and here let's suppose you have here some importing parameter. So I am underscore Matner is, let's suppose you have one importing parameter. So importing parameter, here you will be have the option to mark optional. Okay.
Only for exporting it is disabled.
Yeah. So that will not disturb you, right? You can see that here it's not disturbing me. Right. Even I'm. Yeah. Please tell me.
This is the first two, the sporting, are mandatory.
Yeah. This inside this exporting, these two are mandatory, but it is not going to make sense. Means this mandatory or optional, because see here even if you are not giving this, it is not giving this error. These two I have marked there as a mandatory, right? But even I'm commenting this one, it is not giving me any error. That means here, if you want to take the variable value, if it is required, you put the value over here. If it is not required, just simply don't use. Okay. So
in the class, these parameters are mandatory, but in here in the report,
it looks like mandatory. Yeah, actually it looks like mandatory, but in export parameter, in fact, you don't have any option, because this is a graphical editor, right? So graphical editor, when they have to design this, it is not possible for them to hide this. Okay. Means it is the limitation of graphical editor. It is, so they have just disabled it basically. They have disabled it basically. Okay. This is not mandatory or optional. This is disabled. There is no meaning. The meaning of this.
That's why it's gray.
Yeah. That's what. Yeah. So hope you got. There is no meaning of this basically in the exporting parameter. Right here we have just seen it. If you require, just put it. If you don't require, just and that's where, like, if you have to use some another parameter, and if it is importing, mark them that as an optional parameter. Okay. Just save it. And this, the Matner, maybe you can define this Matner over here, save this. And but if you mark this as a mandatory parameter, I've just removed this, that means mandatory, and we check it and activate this one. What will happen here now? It will start giving you error because it's a mandatory now. If you check the syntax over here, see, no value was passed to the mandatory parameter. But again, I'm going to mark this is optional. So that's why if you are trying to add some new parameter, you have to do like that. So if you check now, there is no error. Is it clear now?
Yes, yes. Yeah.
Okay, other people, if it's clear, just write here in the chat box, clear. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fine. So let's go ahead, and this get detail we understood. Now we can come over here and you can create the subclass. Okay. And geo underscore poly some another, poly underscore sub poly underscore sub. So call method. Let's give control space. Now also it's not showing. Okay, no issue. Remove this, or maybe let me directly call it. Okay, let's see there if it is coming or not. Yeah, now it's coming. So control space, and here also this is also one way. So simply, you don't have to write this call method. Okay, simply you can call like this also. This is also fine. Uncomment this one, and et underscore mara and et underscore marcy. So just put it over here, and we know that when I'm creating the object of superclass, I'm going to get the data from here. So maybe I can comment this one, and in the second case I can comment the first parameter, and I can put this. So this is what I can do based upon your requirement, right? So check the syntax and there is no problem, and we can at last give the breakpoint, activate this, activate, and here put the breakpoint and press F8. So it's creating the instance of, right, g underscore poly, the instance of superclass we are able to create now, and we are calling the method of superclass. So F5 get underscore detail, you can see we are getting, right? And it's going to give you the 5 records, and these 5 records you are going to collect over here in ILT underscore Mara, and this you can treat into your program, or you can display whatever you want to do. Okay, now we are going to create the object of subclass, right? So here the object of subclass is created, going to call this get detail, it's going to call the superclass. From there it's going to take this material detail, and for those all material I want to have the material and plant. So I have used this for all entries, successful. It got the value over here, material and plant, right? So for all those material which we have selected earlier, we are having the plant detail if the plant is present. So here in LT underscore Marcy, you can see that. So method is same, but their behavior is different. This is what you have the polymorphism. Okay.
Okay, this is achieved through the refactoring, right?
This is we are achieving through the inheritance and redefinition.
Refactoring,
right? Inheritance by the?
No, refactoring, because in the subclass, right, we refactor in the subclass.
Yeah, redefinition.
Forward, right?
Yes.
Redefinition, yes.
Right, redefinition. Okay. Yeah. Yes, we are achieving through that. Now, one very powerful example I'm going to give for the polymorphism with the help of interface, and you will get amazed. Okay, how interface is going to play a fantastic role in order to achieve the polymorphism, and how we can reduce the large number of codes into a small amount of codes. So for example, let's suppose your requirement is that either you would like to have the material detail or plant detail, right? So let's suppose you have the storage location detail, then again some another detail, some another detail based upon the condition. So let's suppose you have the 100 such classes from where you have to get detail based upon the condition. Getting the point? So here, let me put it. Parameters p underscore, condition type maybe char 5. I will give it over here. And here what I want to do that if p underscore condition. So what I want, if someone is passing the aim from there, okay, means they are looking for the material, then I'm going to display this material. So p underscore cont the second, and if someone is looking for plant, so maybe if you want a little more specific, then we can give this one plt and if again, if someone is looking for the storage location detail, we can again inherit that and we can define accordingly. Similarly, you just assume based upon the different condition, you have to create the object of different class, and you have to put, let's suppose you have 100 or 1000 such condition where you have to do such a stuff. The codes are going to be very large, but if you see, the method is same, right? Method is same. So in such case, how you can reduce the number of code? The solution is using the interface. How we can do so? Let me show you. So what you will have to do, you have to create one interface first. So let's go and create the interface first. So go to the methods. Method is get detail, right? /OSC24 once again, ZIF OO ABAP demo poly. So just one interface I'm creating, okay? Polymorphism demo.
And you have the wrong number, the wrong name.
Sorry,
No,
what is wrong?
look the name convention, but no problem.
Are you talking to me, Oscar?
Yes.
Double A
No,
in the name you have given. So
the name convention is wrong, but you already
Okay,
put it.
double A.
okay. Yeah, okay. Got it. So we can change this one, okay? We can change this one. We have to copy once again. And that's the other thing. Let it be like that. I don't think so it will create much issue, okay? Already created. And or if you want to remove, we have to go it once again back, ABAP, okay, and create here
The name demo.
again.
Demo.
Okay.
Demo is also wrong. Sorry.
No problem. Yeah, it's demo. Yeah, now it looks good. Polymorphism. Enter, click on this OK button. Okay, and here the method name which I have. What was that method name? Let's go and copy it. Copy and put it over here. And the label over here. So label means that, instance method and visibility is public. Same thing, so interface, just I'm going to use the concept of interface, and I will show you how you can reduce the number of codes. So means so less. So here get detail, and that's it. Save it, check the syntax, that's fine. Activate this one, and parameter also will have to define, right? So let's go and copy directly the parameters from here. Control Y, everything you have to define, okay? Associated type, under the types we have to go and define the associated type. it will not recognize at this moment. It will give me error if I go yes, because it's not there. So obviously it's going to give you the error. So what I will do, that cancel this. Yes, I want to cancel. Go into the change mode first. Change mode, and go to the types, and we will define the types. Okay, so copy this. All these types we have to define here also. And now the typing method be like type or type ref2. Yes, this is should be type. Select this type. Type is there, right? And here you have to go, and you can see simply between the interface and all, whatever we have here inside, we can copy and give it. Okay, so public section, that is fine. Just copy this part, these types, and inside this public section, just put together name. Everything is same, right? So just I'm copying and putting it over here. Methods get detail. Method will be also automatically defined right now. Just save it and go back. So like that also, quickly, if you want to copy from some other places, you can go and copy. Here you will be having the parameters now defined well. Okay, so save it and check the syntax. Activate this one. Activate. So your interface is now ready. Okay, your interface is now ready. Now go to the superclass, and instead of directly using that class method, we are going to use the interface. So go to the class builder, into the super, and here go into the interface. Remove all these methods now not required. Okay, I'm just going to remove, and when you will be removing, it will tell you, it will give some technical issue because it is inherited. So we will correct that also. Okay, come to this interface, press give this ones, and now if you come to these methods, right, here, and you can write that piece of code, right? So that code which we have written earlier, the same code we can write it. I could have taken the backup for that. Okay, but I missed to take the backup, but let me write it quickly once again. Select Matner, it was comma mtet, then matkl from Mara into table at the rate et underscore Mara up to 5 rows. So that's it, pretty printer. And this method we have defined now. Save it and let's try to activate. Super, only 3 places. Activate this one and got activated. That's the good thing, it got activated. Now what we will do, that required adjustment of the class. Do you want to adjust? Yes, I want to adjust the class. In subclass, you can see that it got implemented. It's trying to delete. So yes, we'll have to delete, and again we have to do. So whenever we are going to change anything into the superclass, we have to do the adjustment, right? Otherwise we don't know how it's going to behave. So before changing anything, we should know in advance what's impact it's going to have, and accordingly we have to take up the backup and all. So I will not directly go and delete the method. I will first take the I think it got, no, it's there. It looks like it is now got deleted, right? So again we have to write the code, so before itself we should have taken the backup, right? It looks like got deleted. Go into the change mode and you can see that it got deleted. So no issue, let's go and write the code. So you'll have to redefine once again. Redefine here, super call, that is fine. Come here and we are just going to write some Matner and walks from Marcy into table at the rate et underscore Marcy. All right. And for all entries in et underscore Mara, where Matner equals to et underscore Mara Matner. Okay. So this is what the code we were having. Just written it over here, and obviously like the super call you would require, correct? Then only the value will populate over here. So let me properly select this one and come here. Need to define some local variable to collect the data, right? Underscore Matner, however, this I don't want, so just commenting this and define some local variable lt underscore Mara, type the class name is ZCL underscore OO abap underscore demo underscore super. Again, I'm going to take that, so interface reference also we can take it over here because the types we have defined it over there, right? If you remember the types we have defined it over there, so we can have that interface directly and we can use that interface. Copy this, right? We have the types over here, correct? So tt underscore Mara. So using the interface also we can do this. Just control space and tt underscore Mara full stop data lt underscore Marcy type control V and this tt underscore Marcy. All right, looks good now. lt underscore Mara and lt underscore Marcy. All these are the basic above which we already know. So going a little fast, check the syntax. Host variable we have to define, and now it looks good. Activate this one. Select this interface, also just selecting, activate this. Got activated, right? Now, now go to the report. And what actually I'm trying to tell you over here that this number of codes, just this else if means like that. If you have the different condition based upon the different class you want to call and their get detail method you want to call, right? So this is how you have to create the object and you have to create the object and call. This number of codes you can reduce into just 2 or 3 lines of code. How you can do so? What you have to do that, what you have to do that.
Right?
Yeah, what do we have to do that? Let me comment first all these things and I will show you. Just comment and create the reference of, so one interface reference I'm going to create gr common, something like that, type ref2 and reference of interface we have to create. Okay, just create the reference of this. And now if p underscore cond equals to mat is there, what you have to do simply that you have to create the object. Okay, object creation is required. Without creating the object it is not possible to assign the value. So object creation that we have to do, there is no other way. So copy this and control V, full stop, right? So for material, you want to have this one, and this particular instance where you will get, you will capture inside the interface. Okay, so what's the interface over here? This is the interface, right? Full stop, right? So now if you see here, this is one line of code, and another, else if we can write, then give the condition over here, p underscore cond full stop, and now again you have to write same piece of code. Okay, same piece of code you have to write, or this particular code directly at last you can write, that is also fine. Geo underscore no, at last if you write, that will be difficult. Let it be like this only, and here just copy once again, or maybe this one, because this time what you require the instance of the subclass, because you want to get the plant information, right? And similarly you can keep on writing this code, right? So creating the object, put it into the reference of the interface, again you create the object and put into the reference of the interface. So this is how you can do, and at last what you can do, that you can call this particular method. So somehow means at least some piece of code you will be able to reduce. And if you have the big number of code, a big number of lines of code, you will be having some significant number of codes gets reduced, right? So just you have to give the condition, create the object, and assign to the reference of interface, right? So what you can see, that every time I'm not calling the methods, right? Every time I'm not calling the methods, right? At last, just I'm going to call these methods, right? Just at the last moment, I'm going to call the method. So that's the beauty of interface, and that's how you can achieve the polymorphism, right? So here give this lt underscore mara, and here you give the lt underscore marcy, and you are going to get the data based upon your requirement. Getting the point? What I'm trying to do it over here, creating the object, and because I have used the interface into the class, you can collect those methods into the into this interface reference. You can collect those methods into the interface reference, and you can call the methods through the interface, right? So every time you are not calling like this, right? So means here you are not calling the methods, here again you are not calling the methods. So if you don't use the interface,
could you please explain to me how for example, here you are putting the variable, you initiating the variable mat here. And when you initiate the poll, you are not passing that mat. How he's gonna get it?
Yeah, that's the interface, right? I'm passing the object now, object to the interface, right?
Yeah.
I'm passing
and this variable is part of this here. How inside when he goes in to find that he's in the material and not in the plant and the beginning?
Yeah. So because I'm taking the reference of this object, let me show you in the debugging. It will become more clear. Press F8 and give, this time I want to get the material. Okay. So press F8 and say condition is material. So it will go into the material one, and it will create the object of material class, right? In the super class, I have written the code for getting the material. So here you can see that in this particular object, you are having the reference of super class, and this particular object I'm passing to this, where if you double click on this interface, your interface is currently initial, but I'm assigning this object to this interface, right? So if you see now, your gr common is what? Your gr common is same as your class object, right?
Can you go into double click on gr common?
So
yes.
okay, let me tell you something.
Where can I see the methods?
The method will be called at runtime. Method will be called at runtime. Okay.
Okay. What about the okay? I had question on this one around like when deep structures are there, how do we navigate inside to identify where the data is in the method?
In concrete class, in concrete, see, method method you will not be able to see here, by the way, right? Method is a template, right? Here you will be able to see only the attributes. Here you will be able to see only the attributes because method is the template. Okay, attribute you will be able to see, there is no problem. So because there is no attribute defined in both the class, you are not able to see. Getting the point?
Yeah, I mean, I will ask you later, maybe once the course is complete or in the middle of the course.
Sure,
because when I deep understand it, there are lots of attributes where there are deep structures.
Deep structure you can go and check it. That is, see, that attribute you can see, attribute you can check always. Method it will not show you over here. Why it should show method, right? Method is a template, right, where you write the code. Here in debugger it will not show you what is written in the method. Here you can see in the method,
Yeah,
so
we can discuss it when maybe in future.
Sure. So see, here just focus on the concept now. Okay, so you got this in geo_poly. We are having the reference of superclass, right? And now if you come here, and it's going to call the method of what? Which object? Tell me. The superclass object. Press F5 and you can see that where it is going. Here it is going, and here we are getting the data, and it's coming back over here, and you are getting the 5 records, right? Got Oscar?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have to redo this by myself, go slowly, and understand.
Go to the code. Go to the code. In here,
And
the parameter, no, the parameter is only used as a condition. If the parameter is mat, we are going to pull the code from the superclass.
Right.
But if the parameter is plan, we are going to the subclass in order to first check different data.
Right.
That's it.
Right. Yes, you're right. So see, in case of plant, where it will go? In case of plant,
subclass.
Yes, it will go into the subclass. So here I'm going to press F5 and it will go into the subclass, right? It's going to the subclass. So see, this is possible with the help of interface, and that's where the usability, and that's where the magic of interface comes into the picture. This is a very simple example, see, like if you want to remove this method call from everywhere, this is how you can do. And directly you will not be able to use the interface. First you have to use interface in all the classes, which class you want to assign into the interface. Okay, it is not like that directly you can create the reference and you will be able to put. No, it will not allow you. Okay, it will not allow you. First you have to put the interface into the class, and then you have to use it over here. Is it clear what I'm trying to say?
The interface is no. Can you go to the subclass, please?
Yes, sure.
The subclass, subclass.
Superclass, yes.
No, the subclass, the child.
Child class, yes.
Yeah. Here. So we use the same interfaces in both, in the superclass and in the subclass. Okay.
Right. Same interfaces in both. Then only you will be able to do so. Otherwise, it will not allow you. This assignment is possible if you are using that. Now you tell me one quick question. Okay. Here, let's go into. Let me close this. And here in the subclass or superclass, anywhere, I'm going to add one extra method over here. Okay, I want to add one extra method. Let's suppose the method of the name extra method. Simply I'm putting it instance and public. This is the extra method. Now I want to call this method. I want to call this method. Will I be able to call through the interface? Who will tell?
Yes. Yes, because when you go to the subclass, it will be there, and you can.
But in interface, that method is not there, right? In that interface, if you see in this interface, that
It's not
extra,
there. Yeah.
yeah, still will you be able to call?
No.
But if you are in the subclass, it is there. No.
No, but this interface, see, this is the interface method, right? This is the extra method which I have defined. It is not there in the interface. Okay. So will it here is when I'm doing the assignment now, will it give me any error or how? What do you think? Is it going to give me the error or or means here is it going to give me the error? Or it's going to work smoothly because in
I think
subclass.
When it is part of the subclass, regardless, the interface is kind of an element of the subclass.
Right.
But
So
also the method is part of the subclass. So it should be visible there. No?
But this method you won't be able to call. This method with the help of interface reference, you will not be able to call this method because in interface you are not having that particular method. Otherwise, this is fine. There is no problem, So only that method you will not be able to call. If you want to call that particular method, you have to create the object, means through this object you have to call. Okay. Through this object, not through the interface reference. So it will allow you to create the method. It will not give you any error while putting the object to the reference of interface, right? But the thing only is that you will not be able to call through the reference of interface because that particular method is not there present in the interface reference. Okay.
Can you try here, Pankaj?
Sorry, you want me to run?
Yeah, try here that extra method.
Yeah, extra method you will not be able to call. So here, for example, gr_common, and see, because you can see that only one method is coming, get detail, because interface is having only one method, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fine. So this is I think fine for everyone. Polymorphism we understood, and just to give me 5 to 10 minutes more, I will give you one example of local class quickly, how the local class will be there, /n sc24, sorry, /n sc38, and demo 5 only, local class create. So how you can create the local class, local class.
Oh my God.
So
This is
save
bouncing.
it. Which one?
Polymorphism. Maybe we need to debug on our own.
Just debug. It's
Yeah,
simple, it's a simple. It's a simple. Nothing to worry.
I guess it's simple for you. How many hours you spent to understand it?
Yeah. So yeah,
that's why we are joining Pankaj.
Yeah. So see here I'm just making it little more easier. So what I did, I created one interface. So if_ some common interface, and this interface I used inside this ZCL also, and the same interface I used here also.
Correct.
And the same interface what I did, I used in this ZCL_C also. And this ZCL underscore this, so in the current situation we are having only two classes, only two classes we are having. So let me remove this. What I did, I created one interface. Here I created one interface. This interface I used it over here in ZCL_B class, and the same interface I used in class C, right? Or if naming convention is again like, let me put it class A or class B it over here, now it will be good. And and what I did now, I create the reference of interface first. So data, the one reference I create, gr may be common. So here, like in new is not going to work. You have to create like this only. Data gr underscore common type ref to if underscore common, and then gr underscore common equals to new zcl underscore a. Like this, what actually I'm doing. So I'm creating the object of class A and putting into the reference of interface. So you can see that here I'm creating the reference of interface, and similarly what we can do that you can create the object of class B. So this is the new syntax through which in the single line just you can create the object of class A and class B, and you can put into the reference, and this reference you can call. So whichever method you are going to call corresponding to that class, it's it's going to call the method of that class. Okay, so once again, just
Method of that class or method of that interface?
See, interface is nothing but just a template, right? In interface, you will not be able to define the method, correct? Means code will not be there in the method, correct?
Yeah, we just define, we implement in our class.
Right. So whichever the object it is pointing, that method it is going to call. Okay. So here you can see here, let's suppose here we are having in gr underscore common. Let's suppose in this we are having one method. In this we are having one method called add method. Let's suppose. So if you are going to call this add method, then which class will be called? Class A will be called, right? Because here you are having the object of class A, right? Getting the point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And here
I just wanted to ask, like, how the memory allocation will happen in this case. You have written if else, right, in the program. Can you go to the program once?
One second, I will go over there, but
Yeah.
let me make it first clear for the people who are not getting. I will go over there, just 1 second.
Sure.
So here, can you tell me now which method it is going to call? Which class method?
Class B.
Yeah, class B. And similarly, if I put it over here, gr underscore common equals to new zcl underscore, let's suppose you have class D. And here, if I'm going to call the add, then which class it will call?
Class D.
Yeah, class D, simple, right? So in order to make it in order to make this concept, what you have to do? First, you have to create a interface. In that interface, you have to define the method, and that interface we have to use in class A or in class B, or inheritance is not required. Inheritance is just, because I was taking the example of inheritance, that's why I'm showing you inheritance. Like if you not use the inheritance also, that's completely fine. If you have this interface here used, and if you have this interface here used, you can create simply the object of class A and put the reference over here. You can create the object of class B and put the reference over here, and you can call the method. So inheritance concept here, because the example initially I have taken for the inheritance, that's why I'm taking you the same. Here it is not, there is no relationship of inheritance over here. Getting what actually I'm trying to tell? You can have the two separate class, and you can use this interface in both the classes, and you can use like this. Okay, and you can use with interface inheritance also. There is no problem. If you want to use with inheritance, you can use, or if you don't want to use with inheritance, that is also fine, right? It's going to work in the same way. The only thing is that you should have the interface, and what's the interface you are having, it should be present in all the class. That's the only important point. Otherwise, rest of the things will be as usual. Got the idea? Something at least. Okay, so do some experiment yourself, do some practice yourself, and then it will become more clear. Let's quickly go into that, SE38, and I will show you by creating one local class.
So, I mean, Pankaj, sorry to interrupt. So where is that overriding concept coming here in all your example? What is that we are overriding?
Overriding comes into inheritance, right? I've shown you.
Okay.
Inheritance I've shown you, right? In inheritance, the same method I have defined twice, right? If you remember, this get underscore detail, I have put the redefinition, correct? The name,
Correct.
method name is same, but behavior is different, correct?
Yes.
This subclass method is giving you the different data. Superclass method name is giving you different data, but the name of the method is same, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So this is polymorphism. This is overriding, you know.
Okay.
This is
I mean,
over.
Why is that we are going for the same method name? We can have different method names as well, right?
Yeah, but it will take some extra effort, extra, you know, these things it will take, correct? Here you have to write the extra, right? And if you have this and see, and other thing, if you have the different method name, will it be possible the example just I have shown you? At last, I am just taking the reference and calling the same method, right? Every time we'll have to call the different method, correct?
Correct.
Dynamic behavior will not be possible if you are going to have the different name. That is also one challenge, right?
Correct. Got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pankaj,
yeah.
I have one on though there referring. Go to the PowerPoint, please. When you put there the common add method, this method is added to the interface.
Right? Which method? This add method. Yeah, this is the part of interface. This add method is the part of this interface. So you just have to use. Right. You have to. In this interface, you have this method, and this interface I'm using over here, and the same interface I'm using it over here. Okay.
Okay. Perfect. Yes. Okay.
And creating creating the object of this class and assigning to the reference of interface. That's what I'm doing. Okay.
Okay.
So please go through the.
I mean, multi-use body implementation. Can we assume it as a polymorphism?
Yes. That is the best example. That's the best real-time example, which is the multi use body. You know, nothing better than that, as per my understanding. That is an awesome example of the polymorphism. So if you see the code, how the body implementation gets called, right, you will realize that, you know, so that is like, you know, their interface they use, right? So every body represents the interface, correct?
Yes.
That interface, with the help of that interface, it is possible to call the body implementation, multiple body implementation. Okay. So body is the one of the best example of polymorphism. Fine. So let's quickly go and see how you can create the local class CL underscore maybe local class definition. Okay. Public. If you are going to mark this as a public, just I have shown you sometimes back, you will be able to see this class into AC24 also, into the global repository. Okay. Another thing over here, you have the three. So let me put the public over here, and then I will put it over here. Create public option. You can have the create public, create private, and create protected. Three options you are having, right? So that is for the instance generation. Okay. So simply I'm putting it nothing over here, and by default your class will be having the public instance generation. Okay. So full stop and end class. Whenever you are defining a class, you will be having the three sections: public section, protected section, and private section.
Private class, you don't have to use the C as a name convention.
Yeah, CL. Local class, you don't have to give ZCL or something like this. Okay. Okay. Yeah, in local class, without Z or Y, that is fine, because this is the local. Okay. Public section, protected section, and private section. Let's suppose if you remove some of the section from here, and okay, and you try to check the syntax, there is no error, right? If you remove this and if you try to check the syntax, there is no error. If you remove this and let's now try to check the syntax. Now also it is no problem, but sometimes, or maybe in some different version, it will tell that at least one of the sections should be present, right? So let's put it over here and protected section and then the private section. So generally we keep it like this. It's a good practice to put all the section together over here and then write the code. Inside the public section, what I want to do, I want to create, I want to define a method. So let's, I'm defining the methods. Method is get underscore material detail, mat detail or purchaser detail, anything. Let's keep it simple. And I'm taking the, without any parameter. Before, initially there is no parameter over here, simply the methods, right? And now this method I want to implement in my implementation class. So here, come here, class, and this is the CL underscore local class. Paste it over here and write this implementation end class and method, the method name get underscore mat detail, full stop, end method, and here you can write the code. So select matner mtart into table it underscore mara up to, tell me this is old syntax or a new syntax?
Old syntax.
Very good. This is old syntax, right? There is no comma, so no hosting variable and all these things is required. So select matner mtart into from Mara also will have to write, right? And now it looks good. This I'm going to make this as a global variable, right? So gt underscore Mara, just having the naming convention, and under the public section here you can define the types, right? So begin of ts underscore Mara, and this is how you can define the type. End of ts underscore Mara data. So data gt underscore Mara type table of ts underscore Mara. So internal table I have defined, and this internal table is what? This is the global internal table, right? This is like attribute. This is the attribute of this class. Okay. Under the public section, I have defined it. So this attribute you can use in any of the methods of this class, because this is defined over here publicly in the attribute in the public section. Okay, so attribute I have defined, so here also I can use this one. So if you check the syntax, check the syntax over here, there is no problem. And now what you will have to do, you will have to use the start of selection method. Okay, event, and I want to call this particular method. So how I can call this particular method? This is the instance method, or this is the static method? Who will tell?
This is an instance.
Instance.
Yeah. How you came to know this is an instance method?
If you are not declaring
not
it, it will
static.
become instance.
By default.
And the class keyword is not there.
Yeah, that's the correct answer. Class keyword is not there. See, in order to have the static method, let's if you want to define the static method, you'll have to define like this: class methods and get, let's suppose, the plant detail. So like that, so this is your static method, and this is your instance method. Yes, this is your instance method.
Similarly for attribute also.
Yeah, this is what kind of attribute? This is the instance attribute
Instance
or what?
attribute. Instance attribute.
Very good. This is the instance attribute. And if you want to define a static attribute, what it should be?
Class data.
Class data. Very good. So now this is what? Marcy type table of ts underscore Marcy, and we'll have to define one Marcy also. So Matner and walks underscore plan ts underscore Marcy and ts underscore Marcy, right? So a structure I have defined, and this is now. So one is here a static, a static attribute I have defined. This is the instance attribute. Here, this is the instance method, and this is the static method, right? So here you can see that I'm using this. This method is what? This method is instance method. I'm redefining it over here, and for defining the static method also the same thing, the keyword is going to be same. So copy this one and implementation method get plant implementation. Sorry, implementation is not required here because this is the method. And now select a Matner walks from Marcy into table. And here you can see that I'm opening using the new open SQL, so I have to use @ up to 5 rows. Right. So this is just I'm getting some plant, and so two methods. One, this is what? This is your static method.
Yeah.
And this is your instance method.
In line 44 also you need to use that @.
This is the old open SQL. No comma I'm using, right? So if you're going to use the comma, you have to use the @ here. Okay.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, this is the old open SQL. Old open SQL. Just I'm revising your above concept also. So here new open SQL. Okay. So comma is there, so @ also you have to use. Okay, this is the main difference, in old open SQL and new open SQL. New open SQL you can have the inline declaration also, right? Old open SQL inline declaration will not support you. Fine. So if you want to learn this old and new in more detail, I have put the videos on the YouTube. You can just refer it over there. Okay. Now I'm going to create I want to access this method. This is what method? This is the instance method, right? And if I want to access this method, what I'll have to do? I have to create the object.
Yes. Yeah.
Very good. I have to create the object. So geo underscore, I'm going to create one object of this class.
Yes.
So geo class, the name of the object simply I'm giving. So new syntax to create the object, new and the name of the class, and then you have to put the parenthesis, and geo underscore class and get material detail. That's it. And now I want to access this static method. So a static method can be accessed in two ways, right?
Yeah, both
Correct?
by object and class name.
Right, both by object and class name. And here if you see that this gt underscore Marcy, this is the static attribute, right? That's fine, let it be like that. Here now come, and what you have, this class name. So both from the object and class name, you can access this static method, right?
Yes.
So I'm accessing through the class name. Check the syntax now. There is no problem. Activate this one and got activated, right? And now you can put the breakpoint over here and press F8. And here we created the object of this class, right? Object of this class. Now get material detail, press F5. It is coming over here. Get material detail. We got the data gt underscore Mara, right? And here again, it will go to the get plan detail. Here it will come, right? And now if you press F5, it will come out from the program. Okay. Maybe it will go to end method. End method. And here gt underscore Marcy, 5 records because of 5. And if you press F5, now it will come out. Okay. So it has come out from the. So this is how you got one example of, local class. And now onwards, we are going to see mostly the local class only. Okay. Now onwards, we are going to see the local class only, and we are going to see the export parameter, import parameter, all those things we are going to see it over there.
Pankaj, similarly, you can add constructors there, no?
Yeah, here also you can define the constructor method. Okay. I will show you that how you can define the constructor here. Same constructor name you'll have to give it over here and we'll be able to do.
Last thing, Pankaj, can you write that public keyword and check if it is creating the global class?
Yeah, sure. Public, check the syntax over here.
But you have to write Z, no?
So within a global class pool, you have to write. So that I will show you, because the public class, when you are creating, you require to have a class pool. Okay, directly will be, yeah. So I will show you that how you can do so, or if you want to convert a local class into the public class, how we can do that also. I will show. Okay.
So the question here is, so you showed us how we create the classes from the C24, and now this we can create this within a program itself.
Right.
Is this gonna be if we look to the SE80 or something like that? Can we see this class?
No, you won't be able to. No, you will not be able to see. This class scope is inside this report only. Okay.
Only. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
If you want to make it global, you have to use the public keyword. But for this, you have to again, again to have the class pool. Let's suppose if you want to convert a local class into the global class. So you have one option over here. You go to environment, and you will get one option to convert a class from local to global.
Okay.
More utilities, and somewhere you will get one option over here. I will show you how to create.
Yeah, okay. Just only the question, that's it.
No problem.
Thank you.
I will show you, but that is possible. We can convert a local class into a global class. Okay.
It's only for me to understand the difference. That's it. That's what I'm.
That's fine. That's fine.
Thank you.
Yeah. So at this point of time, you will not be able to access this class into SC24 or SC80 because this is just a local class. Okay. So if you see here, you are not able to find, right?
So we can copy paste the code, right? Just create a global class and we can copy paste.
No, but means see, copy paste, that is fine. But the thing is that again, you will have to put extra effort. They have given one tool here. They are having some tool. With the help of this tool, actually, you can directly go and create you can convert this local class into the global class. I will show you that one. It's easy, nothing more complex. Fine, then let's stop over here. And I believe this session would have been helpful in order to understand the concept of polymorphism. This will be also going to help, this inheritance, the void casting and narrow casting. These two concepts are based on the inheritance concept. Okay, so that also we are going to see in more detail in our coming classes, maybe on the next class. And tomorrow and after tomorrow is no class. We will be directly meeting on Monday.
Happy weekend, Pankaj.
Yeah, sure. Sefer is having a question. Why you are not using the definition data IT Mara type? You can use that one, no? You can use, there is no problem. But Mara is having lot many fields, more than 300 fields. So just, if you want, you can use, there is no problem. Here you can directly, without declaring these types, local types, you can use for that. Eric, if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Okay. Fine then. Thank you for attending the session. Bye-bye. Have a nice day. Happy weekend.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pankaj. Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Thank you.